Today we will be installing a brand new bathroom exhaust vent fan, and this is a new tone. I had to order this one online. I could not find it in the stores, basically because it has a heat lamp in it, which is nice here in the state of Michigan. The air sucks in around the heat lamp to vent it out through the vent in the side of the house. I'll also be installing a draft blocker, so I need to make me a little mounting bracket for this because this needs to hang like this. If it lays like this, the door will just hang open and it really won't do anything for you. So it needs to be mounted vertically. We're also going to be installing some new flux duct. This is 4-inch, everything is 4-inch, so we should be good to go. Most of the work for this fan is in the attic. It's hung between the ceiling joists, and there's just 4 screws to hold it in place. So what I need to do is get some boards off. We have some boards in the attic. I'll get them off and get them out of the way. But first I'm going to get this out of the box and show you what you got. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Deerdorf and this is Detroit DIY. I've got it out of the box and here's what we got. And what I didn't realize is right here, taped inside, is, guess what? A draft blocker. So I do not need to install the aftermarket one. This is what you need. So as you can see, the door holds open as the fan's blowing out and it closes when the fan turns off, and any air coming from the outside will push it shut and seal it. So perfect. Now I don't have to make a bracket. This will just attach right here on the square exhaust with this square side of it right here. So we'll be good to go. Just pop that on. It's going to be a little time saver. That's great. The other thing I want to talk about real quick, since most of this work is going to be done in the attic, the cover grill attaches inside with 2 springs that are attached to the cover grill. They're just nifty little springs. The eyelet that is on the spring right here, I'm sure you can see it, 2 springs, 1 on each side. That little eyelet is simply going to hook over these tabs inside here. Here's one and here's the other one. So that's going to be impossible for me to show you that once I get this installed, because I'll be putting my hand through the hole where the light bulb would go to latch those on. So just so you know, that is how you latch the cover on, and that's what holds it in place. Alright, I'm going to go get some boards off in the attic and we're going to get this thing in. Before I remove the old fan, I'm going to go ahead and get this installed. You can see there's a slot here and a slot here, and there's a tab on each side of this that goes in. And it's a little easier if you put it in on an angle like this and get one tab in place, then just set it down on a firm surface and give it a little push in. Like that. It's locked in there. Okay, these are the brackets that you would use to mount this between the joists. You slide these in and this will give you your mounting hole right here. These are adjustable, as you can see right here, so you can loosen the screw and move these around on both sides, keep them nice and even so that you're sitting flush here. So, alright, I'm going to go get the wood off of the top of the other one and we're going to get this thing installed. I got all the screws out and I've got this loosened up. This is where my main wire comes in. I've already unhooked them, so all I need to do is fish them out of here. Just like that. And then lift this thing right up out of the way. So then I'll show the wiring and everything, but right now I need to get this guy off and get it installed on the new one. Here's the old one on my workbench. I've got the connector out of it and I'm getting ready to install it in the new one. And as you can see, there's heavy dust inside of this, and this is why they die. I mean, this is probably 8 or 9 years old and it's just tons of dust. It was making a lot of noise, and as you can see, the squirrel cage is just full of dust and banging around. And I also detected a little moisture up there, so I think this time I want to tape around this after I install it and put this fitting back in the new one. I'll tape around that and get a good seal just in case any condensation is dripping out where it's not sealed real good. So what we want to do is put this back in the same location that it was, which is going to be this lower knockout right here. So you're just going to take a screwdriver in there and bend it out of the way. Guys, I popped this tab out and I don't think my camera was recording. Basically you just take the screwdriver and you stick it in this slot right here and just work them back and forth and it'll pop right out of there. Now we're ready to install our electrical connector, and it has a locking ring nut that goes on the back. They are so that one side protrudes just a little bit and it'll grab a hold. So if you kind of feel it, you can feel which side the tabs stick out of. Now I want to line this up where when it's installed, these screw heads are pointing up. Which is going to be just like that, the top side. Alright, we're ready to get this in the attic. Before I climb up in the attic, I'm going to go ahead and attach my adapter to my flux. So I've just kind of opened up a little bit of it here, just enough to get this in there. And then what I'm going to do is tape that on so that I know it has a good seal and I know that it's going to stay in place. They're a little bit loose and they don't fit super tight. And what we're going to use is some foil tape. This stuff is amazing for any type of flux duct, any kind of ducting. It holds on really good and tight. And get it started here, and then so we're just going to go right around the very outside edge, get a hold of that plastic right there and tape it down. This thing will never come off. And any moisture that may get built up in there, I'll have an amazing seal to prevent that from leaking out. And this is the same way that I'm going to tape this part of the flange into the body of the vent fan. Alright, now that we have that all taped on, we are ready to install. I have the new fan setting in place, and I am going to go ahead and get my screws in. You can kind of see the old screw hole. This is a little awkward for me here. The old screw hole is right there, so I just need to shift it over a little bit and get it into that screw hole, and it'll be good. I'm going to be using these little short ducking screws, and I should be able to get them in there with my drill, no problem. I've got the fan secured into place with the 4 screws. I had to put washers on them because the location of the old screw holes weren't quite working out with these new screws. So what I want to do now is go ahead and slide my wire in and tighten this clamp down. So all I need to do now is get these tightened down. that. Alright, next we're going to install the ductwork. So the same thing as I showed earlier. I've just got my little short stubby here. I want to get one side in. Probably easier if we get this side in. And snap that one into place. Now, like I was saying out there, I want to tape this joint. So I'm going to start underneath. Alright, just like that, nice and sealed. Now we're going to give this a stretch out, and we are going to hook it right there. Alright guys, so inside here there is another air dam that I didn't even realize was there, so we're in real good shape. So we're just going to slide this on here and get some tape on it. Alright, there we go. Harder than it looks. Alright, get a little tape on here. Alright, our work up here is finished. We're ready to get this wired and done. Now I've already hooked up my ground. Can't see with my big hand in the way. So that is the bare copper wire to the green wire. Now my instructions want me to connect this red wire and this blue wire to the hot wire or the black, and then the white wire to the white wire. And just like that. And whenever you're doing wiring, always make sure that your breaker is off so you don't get electrocuted, and follow your instructions. And give these wires a little tug and just make sure they're in there nice and tight. Alright, let's get this last one hooked up. I have all the wires connected and I have them stuffed in their box. I'm just going to give it a little test run here. That is very nice, so I'm going to go ahead and close that up. Now I just want to say that when you order your fan, you want to make sure you get a fan that's the correct size for your bathroom. This is a 75 CFM and it's more than enough for this small bathroom. The cover is on and the grill is on. All I have left to do is install the light bulb, and I just want to show you those springs. So that's how they hook on right there, and that is what is holding this in place. So, does the job. Alright, there it is complete. Looking good. And there we go. Perfect. That's going to be a wrap. Guys, that's going to be a wrap. I just want to say, when you're installing any electrical components, please read your instructions. Make sure that you're hooking everything up the way you're supposed to. Turn your breaker off, and if you're unsure of yourself, please consult a professional. Alright guys, that's all we got. So I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed yourself, click on one of those two videos. They're going to pop up right there. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Tony Iaconelli and Brett Wimmer, because none of this could happen without them.